ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ते भवति नैष्टिके। So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, title Contents of the Gita Summarized, and text 8. Nahi papashyami mama punadhyad yachokam uchchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumau ashapatnam ruddham rajyam suranam apijadipatyam. Not repeat. I thought. So you can repeat word to word meaning. Na, do not. He, certainly. Papashyami, I see. Mama, my. Apanudhyat, can drive away. Yet, that which. Shokam, lamentation. Uchchoshanam, drying up. Indriyanam, of the senses. Avapya, achieving. Bhumau, on the earth. Asapatnam, without rivals. Ruddham, prosperous. Rajyam, kingdom. Suranam, of the demigods. Api, even. Cha, also. Adipatyam, supremacy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Purport. Although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problem, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is a bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is a real spiritual master. Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nasi, Shudra Kenanai, Ye Krishna Tattavita, Say Guru Hoy. It does not matter whether a person is a Vipra, earned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in lower family, or is in a renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is a perfect and bona fide spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 8.128. So, without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Satkarma nipino vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnavo guru nasyad vaishnava swapacho guruhu. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. Padma Purana. The problem of material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death, cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Yet, the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitutes the science of Krishna. Through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man is Krishna consciousness. If economic development and the material comforts could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national, or international inequities, then Arjuna could not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentation. He sought, therefore, refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the cataclysm of material nature. Even evolution into the higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Shine punye mrityu lokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again to the peak of happiness to the lowest stages of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfall only constitute more cause for lamentation. Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna as Arjuna is seeking to do. So, Arjuna also asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanyamanovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Datati Swarapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhana Raghunatham Tam Tunsadevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishakham Tanscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurasya Namaha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarupyascha Kripasindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkupatam vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramanandamadanam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, translation: I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrevealed kingdom on the earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Hare Krishna. So welcome to the weekday Bhagavad Gita classes. So today we are discussing about the second chapter, 8th sloka, where Arjuna has already taken surrender to the Lord, shelter of the Lord in the two previous verse, seeking that now I am confused about my duty. I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. And he gives the reason why he is not able to come out of the problems what he has. We have seen like Arjuna and with all his battlefield gathered in the Kurukshetra to fight with the Kauravas, and Arjuna also instructs Krishna to take his chariot in between the battlefield so that he wanted to see who are all present in the battlefield on the side of Kauravas to fight against them. And when the chariot is being placed, then he saw his teachers, relatives, brothers, friends. Then he felt like very much weak to fight against them. Then Arjuna starts crying, saying that no, my Gandhi is slipping from my hand. I can't fight. How can I fight? He gives hundreds of reasons from the Shastras that why he should not fight. Then his lamentation was so much so that he was confused. He don't know what to do. Then in this today's verse, he says that no, his grief so much so that his existence is being dried up, and he was not able to his senses are dried up and his mouth is dried up and he was not able to, his throat was choked up and he was not able to even ready to fight. So he gave up to fight. And in this verse also you can see, like here Arjuna says na chokam uchoshanam indriyanam. He says like here chokam is called shokam. He is so much grief stricken that his senses was like uchoshanam. It was got dried up. So dried up means like he was not able to, his senses was not able to cooperate with him. So even though he came to the battlefield to fight, but his senses was not ready because he has carried away by his grief. What was his grief? That he was, by seeing his so many relative friends, he was not able to fight her. And here even Arjuna was saying like I'm not able to dispel it even if I win, even though he won a prosperous unrevealed kingdom on the earth. So he is saying like he has such a grief that he may not able to even come out of, even he has been awarded by the heavenly planets also, but still he is not able to give up, overcome this grief. So then he surrenders to Krishna and he says like Arjuna is little intelligent. You can see, even though he is being stricken by the lot of grief, but he is very intelligent and he has taken the shelter of Lord Krishna at that point of time, saying that no, now I want to give up my relationship as a friend, and now I will take up as a position lower than you, and I want to be a disciple. I want to be a Sishya. I want to become a disciple of yours. Then you can instruct me accordingly so that I can come out of this greed. So here we can see like there are different kinds of levels of effect, like physical effect, physical level, on the emotional level, intellectual levels, and spiritual level. So there are these kind of four effects are there, and you can see physical level, especially if you see generally material people, they are on this platform all the time, because their aim is like to make comforts physically for the bodily needs. So they are on this bodily platform all the time. So they work very hard for what? So that they can take care of their body very nicely. And here Arjuna, you can see he is on not in a bodily platform. He is not in that physical level. He is on the emotional level. So which is little higher than the physical level. But emotional level is like even if you see Arjuna says clearly that no, my mouth is dried up and my senses are also dried. Why he is saying this? Because of having lot of very emotional effect on him. So when someone is very emotionally affected, so the physical chemical effect is there, the chemical effect on the body will be there, and because of, even though the senses are very active, but still they feel like their senses are not able to take up this. So like this, because of they are in the emotional level, so Arjuna was in also that level. He is having that kind of emotional effect. So he is feeling that kind of bodily discomfort. And you see, if a person who is emotionally very affected, even though if you give lot of comforts physically, he may not be able to happy. Because if you see a person who is very hungry, and if we arrange a nice bed for him, say him like no, you can sleep, no, if you are hungry please go and sleep, so definitely he may not be satisfied. Even if someone is very hungry, means very thirsty, if you serve him like milk, it not vanquish his thirst. So it has a higher effect. So the person who have this kind of emotional effect, this physical effect, physical level of arrangements will not comfort them, it will not satisfy them. So here, even though Arjuna, he has having a lot of wealth, lot of people, so many things he have, but still he feel very lonely because he is emotionally affected. Here clearly in the sloka it says like Rajyam Shuranam Api Chadipatyam. It says like even if you give me the comfort of the heavenly planets, how the Indra, they are all having the very nice luxurious comforts, even though if you give me, I am not happy, because he don't want any physical level of comforts, he want emotional level of comfort. So Arjuna was very intelligent, so he taken the shelter of Krishna immediately. So that's where we need a guru. So when we are under these kind of difficulties, definitely there are different kinds of problems. But if you see, what is the definition of a problem? If each and every individual have his own problem. My problem which I have going through may be different for you. It is not a problem for you, right? But a definition of a problem is like it should be a common to all, and like which cannot be avoided, and it's like it's definitely going to come. No one can avoid it. So In Bhagavad Gita also it says, in here also in purport it says like no, there are the four common problems for every person who like it's common to all, no one can avoid it, and everyone has to accept it. There is no other way to like say that no, I don't want to go through these problems. These are the four problems, which is like the birth, old age, disease, and death. So this is a common problem for everyone. So if we solve this problem, then automatically all our problems which are there will be solved. So only in Bhagavad Gita we see, especially these kind of four problems are being focused more. How to solve these four kind of problems? So this can be solved by Krishna consciousness. So we will go through the purport. So purport here in the first paragraph it is said, although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on the knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of spiritual master Lord Sri Krishna. So as we discussed, like he has given he has lot of knowledge, all the shastric knowledge. You can see like in the first chapter he quotes different ways from the scriptures that why I should not fight. He gives hundreds of reasons, and it's all valid. It's all valid, right? So this says like he has knowledge from the scriptures, so he gives so many arguments based on the knowledge, right? The principle of religion, moral codes, but still yet that doesn't solve his problems. So that is a point where Arjuna was taking the shelter of a guru. So Krishna, he found Arjuna found that Krishna is the best guru for me. So he immediately took shelter of the Krishna. So he could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of spiritual master like God, Lord Krishna. So we understood he has been well versed in the scriptures, but yet in this situation he was not able to solve his own problems. So he felt that it's very difficult for me, so let me take shelter of the Krishna. So academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. So when it says whatever problems we have, spiritual or Krishna consciousness will solve all those problems. So it says for material problem, spiritual solutions are the best. So we should go through, practice the spirituality so that we can solve any kind of problem. So therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is a bona fide spiritual master. So he can solve the problems of the life. So here it is said who is actual guru. So what should be the qualification of guru is being discussed here. So it says the guru is the one who is 100% Krishna conscious, and he should come through the bona fide parampara. So until unless he is not Krishna consciousness, then the basic thing is he should be Krishna conscious. Then we can approach them and seek guidance from them. If he is not Krishna consciousness, even though how much big he is, we can see how much knowledgeable, scholarship, high position even Arjuna had, but still he is not able to solve his problems. So materially we can see people are very much scholar, they are so much scholars, and having good positions, high positions, having a lot of knowledge, but yet even though when we approach them, their guidance is not perfect. We can't accept their guidance or the solutions what they give for our problems is not 100% going to help us. So from the Arjuna's lamentation or perplexities, what he is going through, we can see that A bona fide spiritual master to whom we approach is he should be a Krishna conscious, 100% Krishna conscious. From him, when we seek any guidance, whatever guidance he give, it should be a bona fide. It will be a bona fide, and definitely we can have 100% faith that solutions what he is giving will be solving all my problems. So, and we can see, so who can become a spiritual master? The definition is being given in the purport. So it is said, Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is a real spiritual master. And he says in the quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kiba Vipra Kivanasi Shudra Kinanai, Ye Krishna Tattvaveta Se Guru Hai. It does not matter whether a person is a Vipra, earned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in a lower family, or is in a renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is a perfect and bona fide spiritual master. So, even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, like, who are taken a birth in this Bharatvarsha, land of, in the land of India, they can become a spiritual master when they understand Krishna. So, if we understand or if you have knowledge of Krishna consciousness or the science of Krishna consciousness, then they can become a guru, and even no need to consider the which position he is in. So here clearly says, like, even a Vipra, like, the person who is highly scholar, or Nyasi, like, who is lower in the family, born in a lower caste, still he can become a guru, until unless if he understands the science of Krishna consciousness. So it's very important that what we are practicing in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness ISKCON, that we are only practicing Krishna consciousness, and it is our duty, like, Prabhupada, we are in the parampara where our main mission is to preach this cult of Krishna consciousness to everyone. So only we are conducting so many classes, and free of cost, we don't charge anything for that. And, like, because that is a real welfare activity for the humanity. The person who is in a, like this, people you can see, they are not too happy in their life. They are having a lot of problems. Either there is a problem with their own mind, or with the spouse, or with the boss, or with the neighbors, with the family members. There are a lot of problems going through. So, but if we gave them Krishna consciousness, definitely they can be saved by themselves. Or else it is very difficult for them to come out of their problems with their material knowledge. That doesn't help. So here it is clearly said, like, one if who is master in the science of Krishna, they can become a spiritual master. And so without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Sat karma vipro mantra tantra visharada avaishnavo gurur na sasyat vaishnavasa pacho guruhu. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava. So, people nowadays, they don't know anything, but they pose themselves as a very learned people, very learned persons, right? But that doesn't make that they are very bona fide. Take guidance from them. They can't become a spiritual master. So here it is clearly said, like, many people they ask, like, from whom I should take right guidance. So this is a scriptures speaks about it. Who is the right disciple to accept? Who is the right spiritual master to whom we should approach? These are very important, and scriptures talks about clearly. And there are checkup points, like, is these qualities are there in some person, then you can easily accept him as your spiritual master, a guide. But if these points are not there, if any person to whom you are seeking guidance, then if these are not there, checklist is not fulfilled, then just reject them. Don't get cheated, because world is filled with cheaters. They are ready to cheat us. So don't get cheated. So people I see like many people coming here. They keep asking these things like I went to so and so institute, I got cheated there, because they don't have any this kind of checklist. So only it is important like not to read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is all in all. It gives all kind of knowledge. It's like essence of all the Vedas. And if you read, this is a manual for the humanity. If you read, then you can understand like how to take care of ourselves, how to save ourselves. All else we just simply like get affected by or cheated by different kind of people. So it is said like if he is not a Vaishnava or expert in science of Krishna consciousness, then even though if he is a highly born, he is born in a high caste family like a Brahmana, but still he is not a spiritual master. So, but he says like a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna consciousness. So it is said in Padma Purana. So it is very important. So who can become a spiritual master? So the one who can understand, who has full knowledge of Krishna consciousness or a Vaishnava is a spiritual master. So from them you can seek guidance. And in the next paragraph we see, so real problems of life is being discussed. As we already discussed this, the problems of material existence like birth, old age, disease and death cannot be contracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. So these kind of four problems, even though whoever you are, even if you are in a good position, we see the life of a Michael Jackson. He's been surrounded by 20 expert doctors all the time with him. And Michael Jackson's desire was that he want to live for 150 years. And he hired 20 expert doctors, and his diet is controlled. Whatever he takes, it is being checked before it comes to his plate. And he wore such a jacket or clothes, costumes that it's always have some kind of equipments where it gives when he's in difficulties, it generally saves him. So those kind of equipments are being already kept in his jacket all the time. He's all the time wearing that kind of jackets. But at the time of age of 50, he is dead, and doctors was unable to save him. Even though they are expert, they are very expert doctors, and 20 doctors were there, but no one knows what problem he has got and what kind of disease he is, and he is dead. He is not able to save. So it is said even though if you are very wealthy person or economically developed person or having a lot of wealth, follower, name, fame, but still these kind of four problems, these are the real problems which no one can be escaped. So everyone has to go through it. So only Prabhupada says this is a real problem of life. So this has to be taken care. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Yet the problems of material existence are still present. Now, when Prabhupada went to America, as soon as he stepped down, he sees like a lot of hippies. They are born in very wealthy family. There is no they don't have any scarcity. They have all the facilities available, but yet still they are become hippies and roaming the streets naked and drunk fully, and they were unconscious in the road. So it's not that if you go to a very well developed country or state, my problems is solved. No. Even though if you go wherever you are, wherever you go, these kind of four problems will haunt you. You can't escape from this. So Prabhupada says even if one goes in a highly facilitated cities or countries, but yet that will not help. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. So here the solution for this real problem of life is being given. So until unless we doesn't consult Krishna or Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, or the person who is following Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam scriptures, we can't come out of these real problems. So we can't get happiness. So it's recommended for us to approach Krishna, approach a bona fide spiritual master, and seek guidance from there. So then only we can come out of these material problems. So in the next paragraph, Prabhupada says like facility of economic development will not solve the real problems of life. It is said if economic development and material comforts could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national or international inequalities, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of a demigod in the heavenly planet would be unable to drive away his lamentation. So that's what we can see Arjuna was very intelligent. Even though he has having all these kind of things but still he says these kind of facilities which I have will not drive away my real problems. So only he seeks immediately shelter of Krishna and willing to take guidance from the Krishna. So he sought therefore refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. So it is very important, if you want to get a real peace, people they generally do peace, wanted to have peace in the world or peace in the nation, peace in the society, whatever it is, but they are just keep on failing because the center is not Krishna. The center is not Krishna consciousness. The center is their own sense gratification. So only there is no peace. They are only thinking about their own sense gratification. So they are keep on fighting among themselves. There is a lot of insecurity. Until unless there is Krishna consciousness or there is no God consciousness in the center, then there will be a lot of fights happening. Even though you can see so many spiritual organizations also they fight. Why they are fighting? If they are fighting means they are not spiritual organization. It's because their center is not Krishna. Their center is not spirituality. And even amongst themselves they have a lot of confusions. What is right spiritual? They have a lot of confusions. So even though there are for God there are different names, but God is one. If Prabhupada says in the lecture if they have this kind of understanding God is one, but he may be having different names, then everyone can come together and there will be no fights. There will be brotherhood all together. There will be peace all over the world. Prabhupada all the time says in the United Nations just flags are being increasing, but there is no peace. There is no unitedness. That unitedness will come when they are God-centered, but that is not there. They think that different religion, they think that their God is great, but God is one. If they have this concept God is one, even though different names he may have, then they all come together. There will be no differences. There will be all the time peace and harmony. So economic development or supremacy over the world can finish at any moment with a cataclysms of material nature. This is the true statement actually. So you can see cataclysms means I can say I am there in a economically developed state or country, but any moment there may be a famine or a cyclone or earthquake, whatever happens, all my economic developed city may be vanished in a moment. So I can't say I am there in a well economically developed country, but still that doesn't make me happy or take me out of my problems. So the only solution is even evolution into the higher planet systems, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. So even not only economically developed state which I am there in this earthly planet, but even though if I go to heavenly planets also, but still my problems cannot be solved. Even there also I have these kind of four common problems. That's what problem definition is common for everyone. It should be a common for everyone, and no one can avoid it. Like even though people goes to heavenly planet, there is a chance where they can become old, they can also die, so disease can come also, so birth can be happen. So these kind of four common problems are there everywhere all over the universe. So that doesn't mean if I go to the moon planet my problem is solved. No, that is still there. So these are the futility of economic development to solve real problems of life. So that doesn't help actually. So then, what solution is recommended in Bhagavad Gita? It is being described here. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Shine punya mukti lokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest stages of life. So it is said if someone is very happy now, it's because of his some pious activities. But it's not that that person who is happy now because of pious activity will remain happy for long. It is a reaction where sinful reactions also may come after he finishes his pious credits. So when the sinful credit comes, then he has to go through sufferings. The same thing happens the person who is in the heavenly planet, how long he can be there? Until unless his pious credits are there. Once his credits are finished, then he has to come down. So the heavenly planet person, generally they have death in this way. Generally we have a death where we leave our body, right? Okay. But spiritual, but heavenly planets, the people they die when their past credits get over, they'll just fall down from their position. That is death for them. So like this, people generally can be happy for some extent until unless they have their past credits, and later they'll be getting to suffering because they have a chain of pious and sinful credits with them. So here that doesn't solve their problem. So this pious credits also will not solve their problem. So it is said, when the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest stages of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. So such fall down only constitute more cause for lamentation. So if a person who is in a higher position being given immediately to a lower position, he will not be happy. One who has accustomed to from a birth he is being accustomed to a luxurious life, so immediately he may not accept the fall down from his position from the luxury life, right? So it doesn't solve his problems also. When he falls down, he may go through a lot of lamentation. He will be lamenting that my life was previously very, very happy. Even though he knows that even when he had so much opulence or luxury life, still he is going through a lot of problems. But once he falls down, but yet in an illusion he thinks that that life was better than this. But that doesn't solve his problem. In that life, when he is luxury, when he is very rich, opulent, at that time also he has going through a lot of problems. Now when he fall down, his lamentation also increases more. But still he has to go through a lot of problems. So here in the last paragraph, it says the solution that therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna, as Arjuna is seeking to do. So Arjuna asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. So here is the solution that is recommended by Bhagavad Gita. See, Arjuna, on behalf of all of us, he is asking these kind of questions to Krishna, so that we can also, we have also going through with so many problems in our life. So the best solution for us is how Arjuna is doing it. So we have to just follow the path on which Arjuna is being doing it. So when we follow these great personalities, even though they are pure devotees, they don't have any kind of these kind of problems, but they are just acting so that we can get benefited. It is for our sake, they are doing all these kind of activities. So that to set an example, by following their life and whatever they are doing, so we can also follow, we can also implement, we can also come out of the problems which we are going through. So the best way to come out of all the problems is to seek shelter from the Krishna and follow what Krishna is guiding us. So in the further slokas also we can see how Arjuna's grief is being taken away by the Krishna, and he gave a lot of solutions, and that is the ultimate solutions. At the end of Bhagavad Gita we can see Krishna says to Arjuna, I have given you all kind of knowledge, what is required for you. Now you do whatever you want. Then Arjuna, who has understood all the Bhagavad Gita, he says, confirms that no, now I don't have any confusions. I am ready to follow whatever you have instructed to me. And you can see he is victorious. He is successful. He is out of all his problems. So the best way is to practice Krishna consciousness, chant every day and read Bhagavad Gita and come to temples and attend these kind of classes. So this Krishna conscious knowledge, the science of Krishna consciousness will help us to come out of all the problems. Or else it will be difficult for us. So with this I will just pause today's class, and if you have any questions, doubts, comments.
Excellent class.
Okay. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय।